Okay. Well, welcome, and after if you have any question, are you like an attorney or what are you?
I'm an aspiring as public defender.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you have any questions after the case, I'll stick around and I'll
Oh,
answer your
please
questions
don't
if you
open that
need.
book for me because I'm about as dumb as a fucking rock and I will like ask you a million questions. So I'll pick like five if I got some and ask you.
All right, no worries, no worries. Don't worry about it all.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. My name is April, by the way.
April, my name's Frank Giuliani. It's good to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well, Frank. Very nice to meet you. You look good in that white suit up there. So race
I
hell or
appreciate it.
something. Hit your javel or something.
All
Can
right,
I
I will.
have a
I will. I like the
feeling?
pink.
Thank you.
I have a
I'm
feeling
sorry,
that
I was shouting.
it's okay. I have a feeling. I don't think that cop gonna be here. I don't know. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, we'll see. Hello, Your Honor.
Mr. Corter?
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well.
Ready for today? A long time that we've been waiting for this one.
Yeah, about as ready as I can be.
Yeah, that's all it takes. As long as you're confident, that's all that helps a lot.
Yeah, are witnesses going to be here?
I sure goddamn hope so, because why we delayed the last time. I really hope so.
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
How do I get upstairs?
Uh,
I got it.
thank you.
I was gonna go. Uh, Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yeah. What's up?
Where do I find the docket for this?
Um,
So I can read what's going on.
it's gonna be State versus Chrisabella Shaw, and I'll give you the date it was filed. Give me a sec.
On like a really
Yeah,
big
where do
staircase.
I go to find that?
Hey, hi.
You know, like the
What's up?
government website, like the
Hi, Isabella.
email.
Hello. I'm good. Thanks for asking. How about you,
I see
Isabella?
the DOJ dockets. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Anybody?
And then this one's State versus Chrisabella Shaw. It was filed on May 3rd.
God damn, so
Okay,
long
hear you
ago.
guys, but
Yeah, you may have to go up a little bit.
What happened to the statute of
I go to
limitations? What?
So the statute is only for pressing like bringing a case to a docket, whether it's civil or criminal. So civil cases, like the date of the incident occurring, uh the plaintiff has 7 days to submit their case to the docket. Now in a criminal trial,
I got 2 days.
they have 2 days
40,
from the arrest date. Yeah,
48
48
hours.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they do have longer to press charges, but once the person is apprehended, that's when the 48 hours starts.
I got you. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yep. Um. Hey, officer,
yes.
what is your name?
Don Donaldson or Ron Donaldson.
Oh, perfect. Okay. All right, perfect. All right, we're just waiting on Mr. Korhar 260.
Okay.
What about Mr. Bowman?
Mr. Bowman, all the witnesses are supposed to be here. But just like as the last time we tried to hear this case, he is expected to be here, but we will continue if only the reporting officer and Mr. And this other officer is here.
Your Honor, will you be enforcing the mask rule here?
Can you say that again?
Sorry, will you be enforcing the mask rule here?
Oh yes, Miss Shaw, if you don't mind, can you take off your helmet? I'm sorry.
Y- yeah, sure, sir. I left my cap in the underneath
I
actually,
cannot hear
so
you.
I left my ball cap at the bottom, sir. Can I go back and get it so I can take off my helmet, if you don't mind?
Oh sure. I believe he's working on the train issues or something like that. Yeah. All right, that's what I thought.
Your Honor, while we wait, I'm just gonna go step outside and make a quick phone call.
All right, sorry, I was deep thought if anybody was talking.
Is that Officer 260?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is everyone ready to start?
So is Officer Bowman and Officer Hawthorne not here?
I guess not. All right, well, we'll get started. Court of San Andreas is now in session. Today, May 24th, we're here to discuss the state versus Chrisabella Shaw. State, if you could read the charges that Miss Shaw is being alleged of today.
Yes, Your Honor. So, she originally was charged with reckless driving and possession of contraband in the third degree. However, we will be changing the reckless driving charge to reckless evading. So
Okay.
the charges will be reckless evading and possession of contraband in the third degree.
Legal search of my vehicle.
Okay, noted. And Miss Shaw, for the
Yes,
charges
sir.
of reckless evading and contraband in the third degree, how do you plead?
I wasn't evading. I mean, I was speeding.
Do you
But I
plead
wasn't
Just say
guilty or do
evading.
guilty
you
or
plead
not guilty, Christabella.
Not guilty, sir.
Not guilty. Not guilty is noted on the record. All right. State. Opening statements.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, we are here to address the case of State vs. Christabella Shaw, who is charged with reckless evading and possession of contraband in the third degree. On the night in question, Officer Jacob Reynolds observed a red pickup truck, later identified as being driven by Ms. Shaw, traveling without headlights. It was dark, and the absence of headlights posed a significant danger to other road users. When Officer Reynolds attempted to initiate a traffic stop, Ms. Shaw failed to yield and accelerated, reaching speeds of 101 miles per hour. The defendant was driving so fast that the officer was unable to get a plate lock in time. Despite the officer's attempts to communicate, she continued to evade, weaving dangerously through traffic. Backup was called, and the vehicle eventually came to a halt. Ms. Shaw was identified as the driver and was arrested for reckless driving. During the stop, a phone dongle classified as contraband in the third degree was also found in her vehicle, resulting in an additional charge. We will present testimony from Officer Reynolds and evidence to show that Ms. Shaw's actions were dangerous and unlawful, and we ask that you find Ms. Shaw guilty of both charges. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sterling. Really quick question for you.
Sure.
Who's Officer Reynolds? Is
Yeah, I was
260?
confused there.
Your Honor, I'll be Ash Koira, sir, 260.
So sorry, Your Honor.
No, it's okay.
I think I got the
So
officers
260 Ash Cora is here in court, correct?
Yes, that was the. I'm so sorry. Yes.
Okay,
It
no
was-
worries.
Yes.
No worries. Thank you, Miss Sterling. Defense, your opening statements. You have the floor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, esteemed members of the court, today we stand here to defend Miss Christabella Shaw against the charges brought forth by the state of San Andreas. It is our contention that the charges are not supported by the evidence presented and the witness testimony that they are going to provide. Furthermore, we are going to attest that the officer in charge has a personal vendetta against Christabella Shaw, and that will be proven through questioning of the officer. Throughout this trial, we ask you to keep an open mind and carefully scrutinize the evidence presented. We are confident that upon a closer examination, it will become clear that Miss Christabella Shaw is not guilty of the charges leveled against her. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Cortera. State, your first witness.
It'll be Officer Ash Koira.
Mr. Cora, can you please approach the witness stand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
It'd be
Over
this one,
here.
correct, sir?
To the right of
Oh,
me.
over here.
Apologies.
It's okay. And you think about taking an oath there, and you raise your right hand, I'll administer the oath.
I did not mean to stand up on that. Sorry, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you many?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Cora. You may sit down. Ms. Sterling, your witness.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Can you please state your name and rank for the court?
Yes, ma'am. It'll be Senior Officer Ash Koira of LSPD.
And can you tell us what you observed on the night of May 2nd?
Yes, ma'am. On the night of May 2nd, I was traveling southbound Los Santos Freeway when I observed a red in color pickup truck traveling at high rates of speed with no headlights on northbound. I initiated my emergency lights and sirens, flipped around when it was safe to do so to initiate a traffic stop. My radar then got a front lock of 111 miles an hour. I was unable to get a plate lock before the vehicle pulled out of range. I radioed to other officers that I would be attempting a traffic stop. I also noted about 30 seconds to a minute later that they were failing to yield. At that point, I deemed it necessary to call it in as a vehicle pursuit. The driver eventually stopped just shy of the U-Tool, actually directly across
Objection,
from
Your
the gas
Honor.
station.
This is calling for a narrative answer.
The question was asked is to explain what happened on the night of the second. I will overrule the objection. You may continue.
Thank you, sir.
If you don't mind, if you don't mind, my last notes are 1 to 30 seconds to a minute. He was failing to yield, and then that's when you called it in. Can you go from there?
Yes, sir. I called it in as a pursuit. About 30 seconds after that, the vehicle finally came to a stop in the northbound lanes across from U-Tool. 3 other units were able to respond to my aid. We informed the driver after identifying her as Christabella Shaw that she'd be placed under arrest for the reckless driving. Upon the search of her vehicle following the arrest, the phone dongle was found and the contraband was added onto the charges.
And how did you identify, or how did the driver identify herself?
She handed over her license, and the plate on the vehicle came back to her when it was finally able to be ran.
Can you explain why you were originally trying to initiate a traffic stop?
Yes, ma'am. The speeds, the driving with no headlights, especially at night and in the rain, and then the weaving in and out of traffic.
Understood. When you tried to initiate the traffic stop, did the driver comply?
No, ma'am.
Fine.
I'm going to go ahead and post up an exhibit in the docket. It'll be Exhibit A.
Mr. Ash, you may use your phone to help view the document.
Your Honor,
Can
I
you-
apologize. I've never done this. How'd I go about that on my phone?
Okay, 1 second.
So, yeah. Do you see the docket? You know where to find the docket, right, Mr. Ash?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you take a look at Exhibit A, can you please tell us what we're looking at here?
Yes, ma'am. We are looking at the photo license plate of the red pickup truck in question on the night of the stop.
And was this the car you were trying to stop?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you the one that searched her vehicle?
No, ma'am. I was not. At that point in time, I was advising her of her rights and charges and placing her in the back of my cruiser at that point in time. I do not recall who initially searched the vehicle. I do apologize.
Okay, no, that's fine. Can you please tell us what happened once you took her into custody?
Yes, ma'am. I had advised her of her rights and charges. Aside from her stating she was going to plead not guilty, we were able to transport her to Triple SO with no further issues. She wasn't defiant. She wasn't yelling at us, cussing at us, or anything. Overall, it was pretty civil once we actually got her into custody.
Okay, thank you. And the person that you arrested, do you see them in the courtroom today?
I do, ma'am. I do, ma'am.
Can you please point them out for us?
Yes, ma'am. It'll be. Oh, you can't see my point. She'll be standing on the defense side, next to the lawyer,
And what's her name?
Christabella Shaw.
The
Thank
court
you.
has
No
taken
further
into
questions.
record. Yep, the court has taken into record that the witness has pointed out Miss Chrisabella Shaw in the courtroom. Thank you, Ms. Sterling, and defense counsel, your witness.
All righty. Thank you, Your Honor.
Apologies for standing on that, Your Honor.
You're fine. Don't worry. Ash, if you're still coming up here.
Oh, apologies, sir.
That's okay. Mr. Cortera.
All right, sir. Where did you first observe this vehicle driving with no headlights on?
Southbound. Well, I was traveling southbound Los Santos Freeway. We would have been just past the on ramp to southbound, which would have been the exit ramp if you're traveling northbound.
Where exactly would that be at? Over by the water plant? Just so I can get a...
Objection, Your Honor. Compound question.
I'm going to overrule the objection. I do believe that Ash can be a little bit more specific on where that on-ramp or exit ramp is. Mr. Cortez, if you can just ask direct questions to help your line of questioning. Thank you. You may continue.
Which on-ramp specifically is it that you
Would have been
spotted?
the one directly off of Route 68, right when you make that right-hand turn for the on-ramp, or if you're traveling northbound, it'd be that right-hand off-ramp. You would make that left onto Route 68 and go up into the county. Not too far up, you would end up hitting Panorama.
So you're saying that the Route 68 on-ramp.
Just shy of that, yes, sir. On LS Freeway.
Can you explain to me if this vehicle was traveling at 101 miles per hour as you claim, how it took 10 to 30 seconds according to your statement, and according to your statement on the stand, 30 seconds to 1 minute, to stop at the U-Tool just north of that.
You clearly missed a part of my statement, sir. That was when she came to a stop after me radioing out the pursuit. I initially radioed the pursuit about 30 seconds to a minute after I had aired out that I was attempting to stop her, in which she still failed to yield.
But sir, according to your statement that you just made on the stand, the traffic stop came to an end at the U-Tool, and according to the statement
Correct.
you just
You are
made,
missing the first
Objection,
half
Your
of
Honor.
my
Is there a
statement.
question there?
Mr.
I am
Cortez,
trying to get to it. Can I finish my question?
Mr. Cortez.
Can you ask
yes,
the
sir.
proper one?
Hold on. Ash,
Uh,
please. Mr. Cortez, please remain calm and ask direct questions. You're asking. I'm just gonna say it. You're asking a lot of compound questions, and you're just ask a direct question to get to your point, please.
Okay, so the traffic stop, she pulled to a stop across from the U-Tool on the northbound lanes, correct?
Correct.
And you stated that you saw her initially with no lights at the Route 68 on-ramp.
Correct.
Then how did it take you 30 seconds to get to the U-Tool if, as you say, she was going 101 miles per hour?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
That's correct. Please move on. Objection sustained.
All right, let us get to the traffic stop in question. At the time that the Miss Christabella Shaw was asked to step out of the vehicle, you claim that she was told that she was going to be under arrest?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, since Mr. Bowman is not here, can I direct to his statement?
State, do you have any objection to that?
Yes, Your Honor, we do. We can't cross-examine him.
Yeah.
And any questions he would
This
answer
is
would
why
just
we
be
ask for all the
hearsay.
witnesses to be here.
Right, but we can't control when they don't show up. Believe me, this is a problem for us too.
This is the same, Mr. Cortez, as you remember, this is the same reason why we had to reschedule
Yes, I
about 2
understand,
weeks
and
ago.
Mr.
So.
Bowman was here last time, and he provided insight on the situation that is vital to our defense.
I believe the reporting officer / the arresting officer provides the most clear and concise factual evidence and factual statements of what happened. So let's proceed with just Mr. Ash and who's here today.
Mr. Ash, have you ever had any prior encounters with Miss Christabella Shaw?
Objection, Your
yes.
Honor. Relevance?
I am building foundation.
Prior cases have no bearing, though.
Yeah, Mr. Cortez, we're here to discuss the 2 charges and how she is innocent or guilty. So we're not here to discuss priors. We're not here to discuss his relationships or friendships or anything like that. We're
Well,
here
Your
to
Honor,
discuss.
what I'm trying to point out is that he has a past with Christabella Shaw that has led him to be
Objection,
vindictive
Your
in
Honor.
this
He's making a
situation.
statement to the court.
Yep, I'm going to strike that from the record. Mr. Cortez, please ask questions that lead to your defense of the 2 charges that your client is being faced with today.
Ash, you said that you observed her on your front-facing radar, but were not able to get a lock. Is that correct?
I was unable to get a plate lock. My radars are set to automatically lock any speed over 85 miles an hour.
And can I ask why that wasn't put into evidence then?
It should have been.
Your Honor, I'll ask you to look at the evidence. I do not see a plate or a radar lock on there.
Objection, Your Honor. He's making a statement again.
He's notifying the court. That's okay, Mr. Sterling. And Mr. Cortez, your statement is taken into account. Please continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. And again, to reiterate, you were not the one who searched the vehicle,
No, sir.
and you're not sure who searched the vehicle?
I cannot recall at this moment, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You think so, Rob? I'm gonna go to jail. I don't know. They're not allowing anything, to be honest. And the witness that we had, they're not here anymore.
And
So.
just to be clear, Miss Shaw, once she was pulled over, complied.
Mr. Ash?
I apologize. His voice cut out for me.
I'll reiterate. Just to be clear, once Miss Shaw was pulled over, she complied with your commands?
Yes, sir. 100%.
All right. For now, the defense will rest on this witness.
Thank you, Mr. Corter.
Thank you.
Ms. Sterling, do you have anything else to add?
I do have a quick rebuttal.
You wanna yell, by the way?
Ash, can you describe the difference between a lock and a plate lock?
Yes, ma'am. So a lock generally refers to a radar lock of speed. We can either do that manually. We have a little remote in our car that we can do it with, or we can set the system up to automatically lock at a certain speed. I have mine set at any speeds over 85 miles an hour will automatically lock on my radar. However, it does not automatically engage a plate lock. I do still have to manually lock the plate onto my plate reader
And is this something you have to do quickly to catch it?
fairly quickly. The plate reader has a very short range, and especially on the highway with cars changing lanes, it's you have to do it quickly.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Sterling. I have a question for you, Mr. Ash. The Route 68 turnoff that you were describing, I know that both councils have had talked about it. Are you talking about the one that proceeds to Yellowjack right by Bolingbrook State Penitentiary?
Yes, sir. That would have been a way better description. I do apologize.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. You may step down. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks for your testimony today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. Our next witness is going to be Ron Donaldson. I believe he's behind me.
Mr. Donaldson, come up and approach the stand for me. Please raise your right hand for me. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you many. All right. Please make sure you're speaking quite loudly, and you may be seated.
Thank
Ms.
you, Your
Sterling,
Honor.
thank you. Ms. Sterling, your witness.
Thank you. Can you please state your name and rank for the court?
Yes. My name is Ron Donaldson, badge number 731. I'm a probationary officer.
Thank you. Were you by yourself during this call?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry, who were you with?
I was riding with Officer James Hawthorne.
And did you have your radio on during this?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us what you heard called over the radio during this incident?
We were informed that Officer Koya was conducting or attempting to conduct a 1038, which is a traffic stop. And typically when that happens, one additional unit responds. Mr. Hawthorne and I were actually fairly close. We were leaving, I believe, Bolingbrook Penitentiary. And so he decided that we were going to attach. A short time later, I would say, Rob, right around 30 to 40 seconds later, We were informed that it was no longer an attempt at a 38, but was bumped up to an active 80, which is a pursuit at that time. So we continued to get to the scene. I would say 20 seconds later, we may have arrived there, at which point he had already stopped and made contact with the driver.
Can you please tell us the car that you observed when you arrived on scene?
It was a red truck, pickup truck.
Thank you. Can you please look at Exhibit A in the docket for us and tell us what we're seeing in that picture?
How would I do that?
It's on the docket.
I'm new
One
to.
second. 1 second, I'll help you.
Sure. Exhibit A. I see it. I see it.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, I see you.
That is the truck.
What? I'm sorry, what truck?
That is the truck that was stopped on the side of the road when we arrived on scene.
Did you run the plate on this truck?
I did not run the plate personally, no ma'am. It was already being taken care of by another officer.
Which officer was that?
I'm not sure if it was Hawthorne or Bowman.
Thank you.
I
Your Honor, can we hold both of those officers in contempt for not being here? I know Bowman's not with the department anymore, but he should still be held in contempt for not showing up.
Yeah, let's talk about that after.
Were you the officer that searched the vehicle?
no ma'am. At the time, I do believe I was still a cadet. So I was more so just riding along with Mr. Hawthorne, shadowing.
Okay.
I wasn't really
Were
allowed
you
to
there
do
when the
much.
vehicle was searched?
Yes.
And were you informed what they found in the vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Objection, Your Honor. If he goes to answer what was I want to say here, say.
Can you speak up?
Yes.
No, Mr. Cortero.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I'm just objecting to hearsay. I thought he was explaining what was found in the vehicle. My apologies.
We will continue.
Can you please look at Exhibit B and tell us what we're looking at?
These were the items that were retrieved from the vehicle.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay. He stated that he did not find any options. He was just told.
It's in his statement that he was informed what was taken out of the vehicle.
Right. I had a question about one of the items.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Ash, or not Ash.
So because he was informed, and it's in his in the statements, I'm going to overrule the objection. You may continue.
Please tell us what that third item is?
That is a phone dongle, and that is I had a question about for my superior, or the officer I was riding with, rather.
You asked the officer you were riding with a question about this item when you were with them?
Right. After that item, what was explained, what was found in the car, I didn't know. I was not familiar with the item. And so they had to explain that it was something illegal for civilians to carry. So.
Okay. And did you see the driver at any time?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see the driver in the courtroom today?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you point out that driver for us, please?
Yes, ma'am. It is that young lady over there in the black jacket next to that fine-looking lawyer.
Perfect. Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Sterling. And the court also has taken into account that Mr. Donaldson has called out Miss Shaw in the courtroom. Defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Donaldson, you
Yes, sir.
stated that when the radio call, it initially came through as I believe that the code was 1032?
A 1038.
1038, my apologies. I can't read my own handwriting sometimes. And then it was upgraded to a 1080 approximately how long after?
Roughly 30 to 40 seconds after.
And when you arrived on scene, where was the vehicle pulled over?
Onto the side of the road. The right side. Not on the road, but I guess you would call it the shoulder, technically.
All right, sorry about that. So, when the traffic stop was initially called over radio, did he call out where he began the traffic stop at?
He told us his current location where he was attempting to conduct the 1038. Yes, sir.
What was that location?
Los Santos. I believe it's the Los Santos Freeway.
Thank you. And when you arrived on scene, was Miss Shaw compliant with the officers?
I was still in the car for the most part, but there didn't seem to be any aggressive hand motions, any yelling. Everything seemed pretty calm. I do know that when we got back to the cells 2 processors, she was very compliant and very cordial with us.
Thank you. And when she was asked to step out of the vehicle, were you outside of your own vehicle for that, or were you still inside your car?
Honestly, I cannot remember.
And just for the record, which officer was it who searched the vehicle? Are you aware?
I'm unsure as to which officer searched the vehicle.
Okay.
I just know that it was not myself.
All right. I know you stated you are a probationary officer, so if you don't feel comfortable answering this question, please feel free to say so. In your experience arresting individuals, how often are laptops and lockpicks taken when they are
Objection, Your Honor. He's not here as an expert witness.
Objection should stand.
Do you regularly confiscate laptops when arresting individuals?
I myself have not arrested too many individuals carrying that particular item. No, sir. Most of the people that I arrest have guns and drugs on them.
Understood. And you stated in your testimony that you were not very familiar with the phone dongle that was found on her person.
At the time, that is correct. Yes, sir.
All right, Your Honor, the defense will rest on this witness for now.
Thank you, Mr. Court. Mr. Donaldson, you may step down. Or actually, hold on. Ms. Sterling, do you have any rebuttal?
No, we're good.
Thank you. Mr. Donaldson, you may step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State, do you have any more witnesses?
No, Your Honor, the state rests.
Thank you. Mr. Cortera, do you have any witnesses you would like to call to the stand?
Not that they're here, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Cortera. At this moment, I'm going to open up the court, first starting with Ms. Sterling and the DA's office. If you'd like to present or point the direction to any specific pieces of evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. Give me a second to put it up. Your Honor, I've put Exhibit C into evidence, which is Mr. Bowman's statement. And the reason why I'm bringing his statement in, and I can read the whole statement if you'd like, but the reason why I'm bringing this into evidence is to show that he is the one that searched the car and found the phone dongle in the car.
Objection, Your Honor. We would like the motion to suppress this evidence. In the statement, he clearly states that she was only detained and not arrested, and therefore it would be a violation of her Fourth Amendment rights.
Give me 1 second. So, for the objection, I'm going to overrule it. The reason I'm overruling it is because Mr. Bowman states in his statement he responded to a reckless driver, which is a felony, on Los Santos Freeway, and she was pulled over and asked to step out of the vehicle, which she complied. And because she was pulled over for a felony, as Mr. Bowman even stated, reckless driving, that's what warrants the search and seizure of items in the vehicle. It's not a Fourth Amendment violation if the driver is being arrested or under arrest for a felony. So, objection overruled. Ms. Sterling, you may continue.
That's it, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Sterling. Mr. Cortera.
At this time, we have nothing further to add, Your
Okay. Ms. Sterling, your closing statements.
Your Honor, throughout this trial, we have presented clear evidence and testimony demonstrating that Christabella Shaw engaged in reckless evading and dangerous behavior on the night in question. Officer Koira observed Miss Shaw driving without headlights, evading law enforcement at high speeds, and weaving through traffic, posing a significant risk to public safety. Furthermore, during her traffic stop, a phone dongle classified as contraband in the third degree in her vehicle, adding to the severity of her actions. Ms. Shaw's conduct not only violated traffic laws, but also exhibited a blatant disregard for the safety of others on the road. The evidence presented confirms her reckless evading and possession of contraband beyond a reasonable doubt. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sterling. Mr. Cortera.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court, first I would like to thank you for your time and attention throughout this trial. You have heard evidence and testimony presented by both the prosecution and the defense, and now it is time to reflect on what was shown in order to reach a just verdict. My client, Christabella Shaw, stands accused of reckless evading and possession of contraband in the third degree. However, the prosecution has failed to prove the reckless evading by fact of the officer's testimony. If we look back at the officer's testimony, he stated that he first saw Miss Shaw at Route 68 on the ramp on the Los Santos Freeway and pulled her over at U-Tool just north of that. And he claims that there was a 30-second police chase, but at 101 miles per hour, that does not make sense. Furthermore, because this charge should not have been applied, we move that the possession of contraband that Miss Shaw was found to have, according to the statements from Officer Bowman, is not a just charge. We also have not been able to hear firsthand from the officer who found said evidence. The burden of proof lies with the prosecution, and they have not met that burden. Ms. Shaw is a responsible, law-abiding citizen who found herself in an unfortunate situation and deserves the benefit of the doubt, as our justice system dictates. We ask you to consider the lack of conclusive evidence and to recognize that a reasonable doubt exists regarding both charges. In conclusion, I urge you to return a verdict of not guilty for Ms. Christabella Shaw. She is not guilty of reckless evading or possession of contraband. Justice requires that you find her not guilty. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cortair. Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the court, both parties, thank you so much. Give me about 5 to 10 minutes, and I will return with my verdict. Court is currently adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
I need to ask you. You wanna come over here?
Yeah. Do you have any food or water?
Yeah, I do.
Just realized my blood sugar is really low. Thank you.
Okay. Can I actually speak? I just wanna ask some questions. Like, why
I
was
would
my
not put you on there. Like that's always bad. Never
okay?
good to put the
But
defendant on the stand.
the question is, why was my laptop taken? Why was my lockpick taken away from me?
We
And
literally can't ask that because it was by Zachary Bowman and he's not here. Like I tried to lead into that with Donaldson, but because Bowman isn't here, anyone else asking that or answering it would be hearsay, and we don't have an expert witness that we could call upon for it.
so
But
cops always
Mr.
gonna,
Bowman,
and there's no point of
it's a shitty
trying next
situation
time.
by having
Yeah.
Mr. Bowman not be here. But I'm hoping that in his statement on the stand, he stated that he started the traffic stop at the on-ramp to Route 68. If you look, that is the closest on-ramp to Utool. Like, if he is saying that you went 101 miles per hour, you would be there. You'd be all the way in Polito 30 seconds later.
Exactly, like 101.
Yes,
That's
and so
too
that's what
much.
I made sure to point out.
You did your best, though. Appreciate the help.
Yeah, I just wish we had Officer Bowman here, because if he was here, I feel like we could have gotten it tossed.
Isn't that actually all we
That's the
did
guy who
for
was here last time, and he's the one who found it, and he's the one who said that he feels like nothing should have been pressed, and that was a BS situation.
Yeah, exactly. Am I gonna get my laptop and lockpick back at least? Because that was not
Didn't
illegal
you
to
already
have.
get it back?
My laptop was broken.
Yeah.
Broke. Lockpick, I never got it. So can I get those back? Those were not illegal though. Can
That will have to be something we have to sue civilly if you want to pursue that, and that will be an uphill battle with the state.
I guess for next time it's a waste of time then to come here and do all these things.
Honestly, unless you like clear evidence to the contrary, it's kind of hard.
I mean, the thing is, cop who gonna speak up, he not gonna be here, and especially when one
Yeah,
officer
like if
is
we
here
had
and
Mr. Bowman
others.
here, it would have been a lot better. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, court of San Andreas is now back in session. Again, still here to discuss State versus Christabella Shaw. And here is my verdict. On the night of, what was it, the 2nd?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, okay. On the night of May 2nd, Mr. Ash testified here today that he observed this red vehicle being driven by Christabella Shaw, reckless driving, and was clocked at a speed of 101 miles an hour. The definition of reckless driving is drives in a way that is careless with gross disregard for human life. That is the reason for this stop. It is a felony. Reckless driving is a felony, which grants a search and seizure of the driver's possessions, whether on the person or in the vehicle. Now, Ms. Sterling raised the new charge of reckless evading, which is dangerously flees from an officer while operating a motor vehicle to avoid being apprehended, detained, or arrested. Crossing into oncoming lanes of travel, or specifically it says crossing into lanes of traffic, damage to property, and putting lives in danger. On the count of reckless evading, my findings is this. Miss Shaw, you were driving at high rates of speed, well over the speed limit. You were crossing into other lanes of traffic, and in fact, you did put lives in danger. Especially with you not having your lights on, with the speed, and with you driving into oncoming lanes of traffic. So, for the charge of reckless evading, you're being found guilty of reckless evading. The charge of contraband in the third degree, Ms. Sterling brought up evidence of Mr. Bowman's testimony or statement saying that he was the one who found the phone dongle specifically in the red truck. For the charge of contraband in the third degree, Ms. Shaw, you're being found guilty of possession of contraband in the third degree for the phone dongle. The reason being is that the phone dongle is marked for police seizure, and the charge of third degree for the contraband is anything up to 3 items that are marked for police seizure. You had 1 item that is marked for police seizure that falls into the contraband in third degree. So to sum it up, you're being found guilty on both charges, Ms. Shaw. Now for sentencing and fines. I believe that it's been have you been fined, Ms. Shaw, already for these 2 charges? Or any charge?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Ash.
On the night of May 2nd, I do believe we withheld the fines as well as the jail time in lieu of her not guilty plea.
Sounds good. Thank you. You are going to be fined the full fine for reckless evading, excuse me, and the contraband in the third degree. And I'm going to consider your time served based on the time that this happened, May 2nd. Today's the 24th. So I'm going to consider your time served. And please pay the full fine for reckless evading and contraband in the third degree. I will stick around if you have any questions from either side or members of the people here in court. At this time, that is the ruling of this court. Court in San Andreas is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and thank you for your time.
Ash, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of the fine.
Yes, ma'am.
I did update the charge in the incident as well.
Awesome. Do you have a copy of that incident number again?
Yes, it's 11025.
Man, the tablet's slow today.
Yeah, very slow.
Next time, I'm killing the cop instead of actually doing all these things. I'm gonna kill the cop. It's not worth my time. It's not worth anything because they ain't gonna listen to anything. Because the witness who's there,
Thank you,
who
Ron.
was ready to speak up his mind, he didn't come that day because the witness was there. And today, when witness wasn't there, he came, especially on this day. So they're always gonna do this, and they're not gonna listen to us. So anyways, next time I should kill the cop, and then run, and then go to prison. It doesn't matter then. At least I'll take my revenge.
Hi, Miss Shaw. I'm sure
Good
you're
afternoon,
aware
Miss
of
Shaw.
Ash. He's gonna be letting you know what the fine is for reckless evading and the contraband, and he's gonna go ahead and issue the fine. I just didn't want him to issue it without talking to you, so.
All right.
You guys are good here because I just wanted to go talk to your attorney.
Yes. Remind me. one. Oh no, I found it.
It's the fine should be $2,300.
All right. And then Miss Shaw, what's your favorite number right now?
I don't know.
No worries, I got you.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Miss Shaw, that will be a fine of $2,300. In 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you, Miss Shaw.
Well, that's what's about to happen. No ranger. I was gonna kick the door, but that works too. Guess we just wait our turn. Yeah, let's. Just gonna smoke real quick. Yeah, light that shit up. Oh, hey, how you doing? Gorgeous as always. Great, great. That's always good to hear. Oh, we're gonna go talk about the gross overreach of the judges.
Essentially, because you were weaving in and out of lanes, it doesn't matter how fast you were going or anything like that. You were evading. So
I feel like I had to talk.
But no one can prove that, and even if they can
but I
prove
can't
that,
remember
they're
now.
gonna listen to their
I always thought
cop.
that
So
appeal.
Take it easy, all right?
there's no point
yeah,
even
yeah.
doing this in future. To be honest.
Oh,
I
Your
should
Honor.
I'm sorry that
take
we weren't
this.
successful.
Wait, excuse me,
It's
Your
okay.
Honor.
Not your mistake though. It's goes to system. It's
Yeah,
the
we'd
system.
love to have a
Can't
brief,
really
Mr.
fight
Gortara
word
just
with you.
wanted to say thank you, and you did a great job.
Yeah, thank you as well.
Where's good for you? You in your chambers or whatever? Okay.
That's it. Then I
Listen, I would
guess
like
I'm
to-
Yeah,
free
yeah.
to
I'll
go.
get paid from the state. So yeah, that you paid your fine no time, so you're good to go. Sorry it took
So
so long.
even if they take anything legal from us, we ain't gonna get it back because
Yeah,
cops can
pretty
do
much.
whatever they want.
Yeah, it's
Oh, okay.
It's the
Oh,
system.
well, I hope he's gonna be on duty more. I would love to see him on duty.
Yeah.
I would hope not. Poor girl, she's better than that. Damn judge, he ran away. I was gonna ask him questions about all that.
Oh, he's guys.
I don't know.
We're about to meet them.
Are we going golfing now?
Oh, golfing. I'm not like a golfing girly, but like, you know, I'm here for it.
I mean, look at him. He's looking like he's ready to golf. He's got them golf pants. He's got shoes.
Oh, I'm killing that cop for sure. If I find him on street, I really hope to see him on street.